Hello and welcome to the Mindset and Mindfulness podcast with me, your host, Sandy Powell. Hello and welcome to today's episode. Here with me today is Elvera Wu. Claire is a resiliency speaker, a therapist, and a coach of Breathe Into Peace, which is a finalist of the Business Excellence of 2024. And she's been featured on TV, news, podcasts, and magazines. Claire works with individuals and organizations to reset their nervous systems and build mental wellness. She's spoken at STR Wealth, Spark Festival, and Mind Business Spirit Festival. Welcome, Claire. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
So
Yeah,
nice
I'm
to
really
have you.
excited to be here. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad we got to make it work.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Could you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Oh yeah, I mean you basically have everything about me. So yeah, my background is in physiotherapy, and I got into mental health like for 15 years. So yeah, I've been sort of always bringing in different body-based techniques to help my clients, to overcome the anxiety or depression. And I think, yeah, a lot of it comes from my life experience as well. 'Cause, I struggle with anxiety from age 12. I spent a lot of time, money, effort trying to recover. And during my healing, I discovered the power of the nervous system. And that's why I study a lot around that, around about the vagus nerve, about physiology, biology, anatomy, and also, neuroscience. And yeah, and then yeah, that really, really transformed and changed my life. Um, and it's very exciting. I'm even, I'm publishing my book in March next year. So yeah, all of that the pre-order is open, so all of that is very exciting. So I run Breathing to Peace. So what we do is we help people overcome anxiety, build resilience through some of the products that we do is like a breathing, a breathing necklace. So we do have
Yes,
this breathing necklace that
you
it's
blow in.
IP patented. Yeah, we sold thousands of them. So when you get stressed or anxious, you can breathe out through it.
Interesting.
So basically, yeah, it slow down your breathing, and it makes your breathing slow, long, and consistent, and it activate the sympathetic nerve and calm the body. Yeah, so in a way, it's like a token and a reminder to slow down and breathe. Mm,
Nice.
yeah, so yeah, we also collaborate with the Australian Indigenous artists. So we do have the First Nations art on some of our journals and our cards, and those are small mental health habits that would help you to really incorporate on a daily basis. Because again, when it comes to mental health, people think that it's really big, like, oh, I gotta do a gym every day, or I gotta do push up every day, or I gotta do this every day. But actually, it's the small things that actually builds up to your mental wellness.
Mm.
And yeah, a lot of it I would say it's done through the nervous system.
And you were saying like art is supporting that too?
Hmm? Art?
Art? Is that what you said?
Yes, yes. Art can be so when you I think in a way when you express yourself, when you are creative, when you're
Right.
in the different uh place where you can freely draw or pen or write, yeah, in a way that you are, it's very healing as well for a lot of women and men as well. So yeah, when you were able to express freely, be authentic, that's when we actually, start healing ourselves. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. No, of course. You know, because it slows you down. It takes you out. You have to, like focus on what you're doing. You might work with some colors, or like you're visualizing what you're getting out of or something. Or even if you don't, like you're just doodling around, like even that kind of like, unconsciously kind of gets you somewhere. It definitely calms you. Like I've seen so many
Mm,
people, right? Like they're doodling even when they're on like calls and stuff, like just kind of to, yeah, like it keeps them calm or it keeps them more in balance, right? So yes, I can totally
mm,
see
mm.
how it would help. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Nice. So what's your book about?
My book is about how to get over your shit. Yeah, so it has to
Yes.
be very upfront and direct. Yeah. So it's a book with so it's around 160 to 180 pages. It's about so it's around the past years I've worked with like around 10,000 clients. And yeah, they've been through all kinds of shit. They have got anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever things that they have. And coming from someone who's got life experience, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see people getting stuck in their past, and let that affect them or hold them back from achieving, going after their dream role or building their business or moving to different countries. Yeah, so in the way that's stopping them to achieve what they actually want. So yeah, the book is around, like different type of quote unquote shit, like trauma, different trauma, from abuse to discriminations to toxic workplace relationship and all of that, to coming out, rebuilding your boundaries, your self-confidence, uh, reshape your nervous system, finding your purpose, identify your goals and all of that to come out to the other side, to thriving in life. Yeah. So it's giving people like proven and practical strategies. It's a self-help book, so it's practical and proven strategies to help, yeah, getting over, you know, stuck in the traumatic events that has happened.
Wow, that sounds so powerful. Because yeah,
Yeah, we've already pre-sold some of the books. The title is funny, but yeah, it's something I think people all get it. Like when I mention the title, they kind of get it. They don't be like, "What's that?" Like,
exactly.
yeah, it's really interesting in the way that, a lot of us carry a lot of baggage, and what we're trying to do here in the book is to let them, lay down their baggage, and then be that the baggage becomes like a stepping stones towards their goal. Yeah. Um, and this is coming from, again, my personal experience and working with clients. Because a lot of times what I've seen, people usually just try to think their way out of their misery. They try to think better, think more positively, but again, it's very hard to think better when you have when the traumatic events has shaped your nervous system. So in the way that your subconscious is always going to come back to the beliefs that, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm abandoned, and all of that, all this limiting belief, which I believe it's, stemmed from the trauma. Um, in the way that, if we work on the body, if we find the parts that stores the trauma, we're able to mobilize them, and then that would change how we think. Yeah, so we're coming from that approach that's more body based, working on the nervous system, um, and also offering different type of tools and techniques that's not just through like thinking, yeah, and changing your thoughts and changing, the mindset that we've currently seeing a lot of people do. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's a different perspective, drawing on clinical research and personal experience, and also working with the clients here. So we sort of do a mixture of, like, I wouldn't say there's no completely nothing about the thoughts, but we do a mixture of like the body-based exercise to reset the nervous system, but then we do the mindfulness and meditation part as well. So we kind of combine both, so then to make it the results to be more effective.
Right. So you do kind of go back to the beginning of right, to the cause, the root of it, but then you also
Mm.
go towards the how it has manifested in the body. Yes, am I understanding this?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So what we want to really reset is, so we want to really uh help mobilize whatever that is, because again,
Yeah,
we know that
it
trauma.
doesn't get stuck just in the mind. It gets stuck within your body as well. So you want to shape
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
not just
Yeah.
one part, but both. Yes.
So what we've seen is that, like, you can do it through the mind. There's nothing wrong. Like, this is a very again, clinical proven approach. Is easy, or it's how do I say, it's easy to carry out, to implement for a lot of therapists, so top down using the mind and then your thoughts, identify what's not helpful and then change to helpful thoughts, finding evidence to support that work and da 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 da, all of that. But that's all on the conscious level. It's very hard because your thoughts or your belief, they've been shaped in the past 10, 20, sometimes some of the clients 40, 50 years. It's very hard because the thoughts keep repeating and then it becomes a belief, right? And then it's become almost subconscious. But if we keep working here, okay, one day it's gonna come down, but it takes like a long time
Yeah.
to sit as a belief. But when we do bottom up, so when we focus on the body, how we feel, and then finding the parts in the bodies that stores the trauma and release the energy. So actually, when that happens, it changes the amygdala. Amygdala is where the trauma store. So it discharges the energy, and then those fragments are stored at different parts of the brain. So then they sit there, but then they're still there. You
Yeah.
still get triggered, but the thing is, you don't let them affect. They don't affect you that much anymore. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and that's the power of the nervous system, resetting the nervous system. Mm.
Yeah, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Have to look a bit more into it. It sounds very cool. So is there like
Yes.
a particular, so you said the amygdala? So yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, is there like certain areas of the body, like where you're like, okay, like if you have divorce, like it's I don't know, your shoulder or I don't know, like something like this, or is it more so, yeah, like you said, the amygdala, like it's the the center
So
of.
I mean, yeah. So it will be another total different topic. It's about energy anatomy. So every part of your body has
Uh-huh.
stored different type of energy. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, you might heard about the energy anatomy where we talk about different like chakra. That's what we call the energy anatomy and their energy
Right,
center. So different parts of it is stores of different emotions and
right.
different type of pain. Yeah. So it's utilizing different technique to mobilize them. But that's a very sort of advanced. I wouldn't say like anyone who just came in and say, I want to heal that, let's do this now. So a lot of people will go straight into the chakra healing and meditation. I don't think there's any wrong with that, but I think that's a really, how do I say? Because it requires you to feel in your body as well. So in the way, I think in a way when we are when shit happens to us, it changes our physiology, our biology, and then our cells and our nervous system. So in the way, like, you know, this is what I always say about the nervous system is that you have this between these two lines are your flow state. So you
Mhm.
operate best between the state. Okay,
Mhm.
if you are triggered, you go into fight or flight, so above this line, or some of you might go into a shutdown, freezing, so you might be below this line. So that's very common in our daily life. So when shit happen, this part shrink. Okay, so you get easily triggered. You go up and you go down very easily. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the goal is always to come back here, and then when we reset the nervous system, we're opening up, we're widening this part as well. So you have more tolerance for stress and challenges. Yeah.
Yes. Building your resilience. That's the
Yeah, that's where resilience comes in. Yeah. That's where I believe. Yeah, I mean, I believe all of us have some form or another form of shit that's happened to us, either small or big. But yeah, when we stretch this, we build resilience. We have more capacity to deal with challenges. Mm.
Yes. More challenge. Yes. I mean, yeah, that's so cool. I think that's so interesting. Very, very, very cool. And very good a visual to kind of,
Yes, yes. We also run webinar on this. So we also offer free webinars on reset the nervous system and thrive. So it happens it's Australian time Thursday, 12 to 1 p.m. So yeah, we can share the link. So if anyone's interested to learn more,
yeah,
it's actually
I want to
yeah.
learn more.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
It's been a really popular topic because you'll be surprised. Like people spend like sometimes 4 or 5 years, sometimes 10 years in counseling and therapy. They just talk about the problem and then they talk and then they try to find a solution, but still they feel it in their body. They feel the anxiety in the body. They have the flashback, they have nightmares, they can't sleep, sweaty hands and all of that. And then when they comes to us, it's like, okay, that's work on the body because that's the part that's affected. And now suddenly I'm sleeping well, no flashback, no nightmare, I'm feeling great. And automatically your mind just be like, oh, my body's feeling great. I'm feeling good. I don't think I have a problem anymore. Actually, my life is quite good. Yeah, in
Yeah.
a way, it's like because the things that's happened, it's not affecting them anymore. Like it's still a trigger, but it's not affecting it as much. So it becomes very tiny. But then when you do the mind approach where you stop thinking this, stop doing that, it's still here. It's still like, but then you're just using your thoughts to kind of like, okay, press this down.
Yes, or
But it's
like, yeah.
still there. Your body feels it. Your body feels all of that. Yeah.
Yes, I love this. This is, yes, very interesting. I really, really, yeah. Definitely share the link with us. I'm definitely interested in joining and finding out more about this too, because it sounds
Yes.
very cool. And yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I have done obviously a bit about body work as well, but not in this level, like really like this deep. And I was just having a conversation with my mom actually. They just finished
Mm.
some kind of course she's gonna tell me more about tomorrow because we didn't have enough time. But what she said was like, yeah, like they were basically training their mind somehow, or like memory and things like, I don't know, like trying to be more sharp. Like it was her and my grandma, right? Going through this course for 3 weeks or something. And she was like, it was more practical. Like she was like, yeah, like they were looking at this line and then they were looking at it this way and then they were looking at it diagonal and then like some people were freaking out and then that's how they figured out that they might have problems with reading or something, and certain like any letter that like with an X or like a K with any diagonal lines might cause you discomfort. So someone like my mom got nauseous and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so crazy. Like she was like, yeah, like I totally didn't even. And it just kind of it reminded me of you, like when you were saying like so many things are so subconscious and like your body still feels it, and like like even though like you're sometimes you're trying all these things and like the logical base and like maybe basic memory training and stuff, and then they were doing some kind of exercises too, like it kind of seems a little bit aligned but obviously on a different level. But it just kind of made me it reminded me of that it's kind of so cool that sometimes instead of just staying in the head and just kind of talking about it and thinking about it and trying, like you said, like, talking it down and managing it, like coming from from inside your body, releasing it in a different way
Yeah.
is kind of, just as powerful or necessary in so many ways. So that's why I find it
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
interesting, because I was like, oh my God, how have I not found this? How have I not incorporated? I need to look more into it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been
Yeah, the
working a
result
lot
is almost
in the
yeah,
head.
the result is almost immediate because you are
Yeah.
like for many years I work with like clients that don't even speak at all. So like they're so bad with their mental health. Like they don't even speak. So the only way to work with their trauma is to use body-based exercise. Yeah. So for a long time, like 4 years, I was working with clients that just really, really severe mental health clients. And yeah, I see a lot of results like almost immediate. Like they were like depressed or sad, and then after the exercise, they're like, "Oh, I'm very happy now. Did I say anything wrong, or did I just swear up in the past?" Like it just shifted their mental state really quickly. And I've seen that in so recent years, I start working with more high performance clients, like they're professionals, business owners, and they're looking to level up their career or expand their business. Um, and over there, I also found like a lot of time when they're being held back by something, like if we work through their body, the result is almost immediate. Like they will have like 1 or 2 sessions, and then they're like, my life is actually very good. Why was I so worried or so depressed about this thing? I don't understand. Why was I like this? So, sometimes after, I do have quite a bit of clients. I've got like PTSD, or ADHD or anxiety, but a lot of it, like with all these diagnoses, the underlying root cause is actually the trauma. And then after we work together, like after 6 weeks or more, like they no longer qualify for some of the diagnoses because they might not have the symptoms anymore.
That's so powerful.
Yeah, so in the way, like we're working through the nervous system, but I do believe that we need to connect our heart and our mind. Like, I don't think we should separate both of them. So the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the nervous system. So our nervous system includes our brain, our spine, and our peripheral nerve, and the longest one is the vagus nerve. So this nerve connects your brain to your heart. So when this nerve is activated, it synchronizes, the brain and your heart. Yeah, so I always encourage people to do more of the exercise, the body-based exercise, to help them to synchronize those two. Because at the end of the day, you don't want you to, you think differently and your body feel differently. You want to synchronize both, like what you feel in your body, it affects how you think, and then you're making decision based on not just what you think, but also how you feel in your body. And that's where all the intuition, the gut feeling comes because of this vagus nerve. As again, like because it connects to your gut, it connects to your lungs, it connects to your eyes, it connects to many different parts of the body.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this like like an exercise that you could kind of show us, or is it a longer exercise? Is there something?
I can show a really a simple
Demonstration?
technique. Yeah, it's very easy to do. So what I encourage you to do first is to rate your anxiety or stress level. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is minimal, 10 is excruciating. So just rate your current anxiety or stress level. Just remember this number. And now I just want you to breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth like you're blowing a candle. Yeah. We're going to aim for 8 seconds and breathe in again. And exhale out through your mouth like you're pulling a thread out of your mouth. And inhale. And exhale out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Inhale. Expand all parts of your lungs. And exhale out. Let the lungs slowly shrink as you blow out all the air. And inhale again. Feel like your lung expanding like the balloon. And exhale. Slowly let the air out from the balloon, shrinking slowly. I'm going to keep going. Breathe into your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Like you're blowing a candle. Yes, slow, long, and consistent. And just letting everything go. Letting everything flow away. All your worries. All your thoughts. All the things that's going through your mind. Just let everything go. And inhale again. Feel the air filling up 4 walls of your lungs. And exhale out, this time for 16 seconds. So keep blowing out. If you cannot blow out that long, just take a breathe in between. And just keep blowing out, letting everything go as much as you can. And inhale again. And exhale out. Drop everything. Sink in, sink down, like you're sitting at the bottom of the ocean. And you're just sitting there in peace, in calm, in serenity. And 2 more here, breathe in. Feel the air filling up your lungs. And exhale out. Now you're blowing the bubble slowly out in the ocean. You can feel the water. You can feel the fish. You can feel the ground, the bottom of the ocean below you. All right, one more here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Slow, long, and consistent. So as you keep breathing out, you can see the small bubbles disappearing in the ocean, disappearing in the water. Some of them shining in the water. And just let everything go. All right, and now just take a couple breathing in and breathing out, and just resume your breathing. I want you to slowly come back to the present moment. Feel the chair beneath your buttock. Feel the floor underneath your feet. And wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And now you can open your eyes.
Wow.
And we're going to rate our anxiety level or stress level. And raise your hand if you have feel your level has come down.
Oh, yes. Wow. This is really incredible. Huh. I feel like, yeah, the difference in breathing, that, the shape of your mouth, breathing out, the little O, it really, yeah, like you said, when you blow into your little necklace, I can
Yeah.
see how that, yeah, just the shape of your mouth, it changes it. It really, it forces it to even slow down even more. Because like I do a lot of mindfulness, right? Like, so it did remind me of the exercise, the breathing exercise, and I can already slow down, but I felt like, yeah, the deep underwater coupled with the little
Yeah,
O,
the exercise. Yeah.
it
I
really
think, well, yeah,
took it to a
so
different level.
yes, yes. So we combine the exercise with a lot of visualization and meditation. So it's almost like you're using all senses of your body. It's a lot. I ask you to go a lot into your feelings, like expanding the lungs and then, yeah, feeling the bubble of the water and all of that. But with so this is very interesting. So with the Stanford research, they recently showed that deep breathing exercise, which is focused on the exhalation, actually has significant effect to lower anxiety, and it's more powerful than just meditation.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have another research in the Macquarie University here in Australia showing that, yeah, all this breathing exercise, all the breath work, it helps people to connect with their body a lot better. Yeah, so they have more body awareness. They're more aware where they are in space. And this is really, really interesting because when we focus on the exhalation, that's why when we breathe out, the slower do you breathe, the longer you breathe, the more it activates this vagus nerve. All right, so this vagus nerve will come in and then it will tell your heart to slow down. And when this slow down, your mind also slow down. Yeah, so it's synchronized both. So yeah, that's just the power of the nervous system. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so interesting. Yeah. Like so many people, like I feel like mindfulness and breathing exercises, like it's so common these days, but there's still so many people out there that don't, like, they think they know, but they don't, right? And they don't apply it and things like that. So I think
Mm.
it's so
Yeah.
important to talk about it, and we
Yeah.
all think like we're
Peop-
connected with one another. We all think like, well, I'm me. Like I've been with myself, for 40 years. I know myself, and then once you start those exercises and become more aware of yourself and your feelings and things and your traumas and belief systems and all that, like you're like, holy crap. I didn't know. I didn't
yes.
know anything.
Yes.
You always feel like, oh, I'm me. How could I not know myself? But I mean, even like myself in the past, like, yeah, I came to mindfulness trying to find basically regulate my emotions better, right? Like I was raised in a very loud household. So everybody had to trump one another to be heard. So lots of screaming, lots of temperament and things like that. And then, I tried, well, once I got married, my husband is the total opposite, right? Like when you raise your voice, like he gets quiet. So obviously we needed to figure out how can we communicate better? How can I take it down? How can he come up and stuff like that? So I made myself, right? I started my journey of figuring out how can I change things? How can I be a bit more emotional balanced? How can I say things without yelling at people and things like that? And so mindfulness helped me in that, right? Like I read tons of books and everybody was like, oh, snap your hand and do this and count backwards. And I was like, oh, I can't do any of that. Once I'm here, like I'm just
Yeah.
floating, right? So eventually I was like, oh, mindfulness. Then it helped me install that pause button. I was for years, like I read all these books and tried all these tips and nothing worked. And then eventually I realized mindfulness helped me, to get in contact with myself better. I realized like, oh my God, like I like all these other tips, like they're like on the surface, they're like the band-aid, but like if you're not aware, like I was never aware of where I am, like the mindfulness check-in, right? Like I didn't even realize, like of course I felt like stressed or something, but I didn't realize the way I do it now, like, oh, like it's adding, it's adding, it's adding, like I already feel it rising. I already can tell, okay, I need to take a break, I need to walk away, whereas previously I would just at some point I would just explode and I'm like, oh, I don't even know, I would explode on somebody that may even didn't deserve it. So anyways,
Yeah.
mindfulness was just a really big part in helping me,
Yes,
installing.
but breathing can actually, improve the mindfulness practice. It's
Yes.
very interesting because, when I'm 18, I have a lot of stress from, from my family, from the society, from my peers, and all of that, you know, push me up to a point where I don't feel like carry on with my life. And then I reach out to learn all these things about resetting the nervous system, a lot of it through breath, through the eyes, through spine, through tapping. There's a lot of techniques. And after I reset it, I start to see that I'm the creator of my own life, that I can, I don't need to let my nervous system control me. I can control my nervous system and I can actually, achieve a lot in life. So yeah, that's where you know, throughout the years, I've done a lot of different techniques and training, and then this is what I found. It's very, very powerful. Again, it doesn't work for everyone. Everybody's nervous system is different. Your nervous system is like your fingerprint, so it's unique, it's special, it's got its own fingerprint. So our goal is always to understand your nervous system state, but as I mentioned this, flow state, your fight or flight state, your freeze state, and then finding ways to help you to expand that, make you more resilient, and also helping you to actually operate more in the flow state instead of like always being here or being here. I think as human, some of us go up and down a lot. Some of us are here a lot, but it's always about finding ways to come down to this middle path. That's where the flow state, where you operate the best. Yeah, so that became my work in the end. So from 18 all the way till now. But it's very interesting because again, that's just life in the way that I think we all have triggers. We all have different nervous system, and then there's different tools that we can use. And breathing is one of them. Mindfulness is one of them. It's all about finding the right tool, use it at the right time.
Right. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah, and just for people who might not be watching, she was holding up her hands, one on top of the other, which was a bit of space in between, which in between is where our flow state is. We're basically going from top to bottom between our hands, up and down.
Yes,
That's
yes.
our normal flow state. But every now and then when we get triggered, we go beyond, on top of the other
Up
one.
the top of the
So,
line.
yes,
Yeah,
or we
that's a fight or flight. That's probably where you're in during
yeah.
your what you mentioned about you have to speak very loud in your family, where you had to shout, you had to yell, you had to do something that's very impulsive.
Yes.
And that's where you kind of map out, okay, that's where I'm at. And
Yes.
then when you have awareness, okay, I need to like find a way to calm down. And then mindfulness is a way for you to come back down to the flow state. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I
Yeah.
do is always to help people to map that out. Different state, different situations, different dynamics, relationships. They'll have different uh yeah, they might be in different state. And then helping them to find the tools to come back to the flow state. Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah. So yeah, again, every time you are growing, when you're expanding, when you're moving up, either in your career, when your business, when your relationship, whatever, like you always, yeah, even moving countries, sometimes, yeah, you will have that. It change your nervous system. Mm. So it's a
Right.
constant type of work, in the way that now you have the tools. Okay, it's to implement it. It's to do them on a consistent basis.
Right. Which then increases the space between your hands, your flow state, which is that resiliency part. The more space is between
Yes, yes,
your hands, the more you can handle, the better you can flow between the lines without crossing them, without being triggered or receding,
yes,
freezing. Yeah.
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's
that's
so,
just the power of the nervous system. Mm.
yes, very powerful. Um, how can people find you if they would like to hear more about this or they want to connect? I know you said you're going to send me the link and I'm definitely going to put it in the show notes, but where would you like them to,
Yes.
reach out to you if someone is
Yeah,
really
so yes, absolutely. So Facebook is a good one. So Facebook, you can just find me, Claire Elvera Wu, on Facebook. That's CoARIRELVERAWU. And yeah, we'll put that in the link as well. We also have an Instagram page called Breathe into Peace. So BREATHE into INTO peace, PEACE. Yeah, so it's breathe into peace. So yeah, you'll find us through there. And yeah, feel free to DM me. Yeah, we do a lot of different events. We have different type of workshops and programs. So yeah, the first I would recommend is to jump in our free webinar, learn a little bit about the nervous system, and from there, yeah, it just might change and transform your life.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, it's so powerful and you never know. Yes. But definitely check it out. Yes. It's always good to try out different avenues, to find different tools. Because like we said, right, in not every situation you can use, the breathing exercise or this or that. So it's good to have
Yeah.
plenty different tools in your toolbox. So you have, something
Yes,
to help you
yes, yes, yes.
in
I
this.
think the most common mistake I've seen in my clients, so they literally will go and learn some breath work. Like for example, they will learn like a fire breath, like from Wim Hof, and then they try to use it when they're anxious, and then they get more and more anxious because that type of breathing is to give you energy. So if you're
Right.
already up here with your energy, it makes it worse. So
Yeah.
so then after that attempt, they just think that breathing is never gonna help me. It's very funny. So it's not about like doing what's popular. It's about doing what works for you, what's the right tool. And the same with the breathing, like the one I've shown you. Like if someone is like depressed and shutting down, if they use that, they might feel even more depressed. So it's about giving them the fire breath to bring their energy up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what I found really funny because there's so many people talking about breathing. There's so many people talking, especially in the wellness space. Everyone's talking about breathing. Everyone's like, just take a deep breath, just breathe, just do this and that. But again, there's so many, like there's literally like hundreds of breathing techniques, and it's about using the right technique that works for you at that time. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't say, do this, the one I've just demonstrated. Again, that's for people who are overwhelmed and stressed, and that's was sort of very common. But if you're like really depressed, or if you don't want to do anything, please do not use that exercise because it's gonna make you more even don't want to do anything. So yeah, yeah, just want to mention that because a lot of time people get confused. They'll be like, oh, Clay, so I just breathe every day and everything will be fine. And I had to be like, no, not really. It's just it's just a tool to help you to come down. If you're up here, you want to come down. But if you're already down below the freezing state, please don't use that to go lower. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
comes back to that awareness piece, and yes, knowing yourself and how you can come back to the right level, the in between.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And it's gonna take some
Trying.
time. Yeah. It's gonna
Mm.
take some time. So yeah, we do initial assessment as well for people's nervous system. So we help them to understand where they're at,
Yes,
their fight state, their freeze state. So we do that as well. Yeah.
yeah, that's why it's helpful
Um,
to have a guide, somebody, right? Like you're not just
yeah.
going on the internet and you're just trying something and then you're like
Yes,
frustrated.
a lot of people they just pour whatever, do whatever is trending or popular, right?
Mm.
And a lot of people try to do it on their own. But sometimes it's hard because when you're in it, it's very hard to tell. Like when you're triggered, like it's very hard to tell. Like, especially like I've seen clients that when they're depressed, like they even don't know that they are depressed. They just
Right,
look depressed, but then they don't know that they're actually depressed. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of time when you're in that state, it's very hard to tell, because your trigger, you are just in a different state of mind. Yeah.
Mm.
It's good to have someone to also to monitor. Also, when you do some of the exercise, also good for someone to monitor you, so you're to see your response and yeah, to see how you react to some of the body-based exercise. Yeah. Mm.
Yes. Yes. Because how many have I heard? Oh, and I'm not good at meditation, and I'm not good at this and that, and it really just helps. Yeah, if you have someone and you can share, how did you feel? How did this make you feel? How did it go? Oh, this made me all woozy and stuff. Like, if you have someone, a guide that can actually help you. Like, okay, well then let's not do this again. Let's try this and this and that. Like you said, it's like a fingerprint, right? You need to find the right combination that
You
works.
need to find what works for you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like meditation never works for me in the past. I'll tell you very upfront. Like meditation was, I couldn't do any meditation when I was young. Well, even just 2 years ago, I couldn't. And I found a way to do it. I literally had to combine the drums. I had to do drumming meditation. So I had to do meditation with the sound. Yeah, and that works for me. And that works with a lot of people with anxiety and PTSD. Like we just can't sit still. Now I can sit still after all these years of listening to the sound meditation. But yeah, it was really interesting because a lot of people told me they cannot do meditation, and I had the same issue like 2 years ago, and I had to do another way using the sound, to get my because when this comes to music, some of the sound can get you from the delta into beta, so it helps you into more of a different brain wave and different state of mind. And then eventually I started meditation. Yes, so.
But yeah,
But I still like to combine it with some other things. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
Yes, be the
Yeah.
explorer, right? Be the explorer and
Yes.
look into
Yes,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
Try it over and over, different ways, right? Just because you did once and it didn't work doesn't necessarily mean it will never work, right? Yes, it's so cool.
Yes.
That's why
Yeah.
I
So
love talking about it and seeing how different people, right, come to, finding their very own unique set of tools. And like you said, it is very different. But you mentioned earlier also tapping, and is that's also more body based, yes?
yeah,
Tap.
tapping is very body based. Yeah. Yeah. So we have different type of tapping. That's a more remedial point, the more EFT. But we also
Yeah,
have
is
like
that something
more
you
like
use?
yeah, we use like different types of tapping.
Mm.
So one EFT we use, and then we combine that with the it's not hypnosis, but more like meditation. So we combine that with meditation as well. Yeah. So it's very powerful. Especially comes from like with like feeling like lack of like self confidence, lack of self-worth, feeling not good enough. We use a lot of that to release that because I think that it's very hard to get over with just breathing. So we use a lot of tapping for self-worth and abandonment. Yeah. So different type of limiting belief and trauma. We use a sort of different techniques, but again, it's different for each individual.
Yeah.
Um, but I tend not to use the breathing breathwork technique for that. Um, but then when yeah, it's very interesting. Sometimes it's a mixture of two or three that gets
Mhm.
the best results. But our goal is always to get them to come back, get the clients to come back as soon as that they can. So the effect is almost immediate. Yeah. So sometimes 5-10 minutes, or 15 minutes. Yeah. So we usually want them to come back fairly quickly. And then if they want to discuss about the problem, they can, or the past event, they can. But if they don't want, it's also fine. Like, our job is not to repeat the story again and again and again. That's what I see a lot of problem in therapy and counseling. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah. So ideally, you want to move past the pain. It's good to be heard and be seen and be supported, but again, you want to move past it. So then you're not stuck on it, like talking about it, doing this and doing that. And yeah, just repeat it about it. Like a broken record, like you want to move on.
you want to name it, acknowledge it. Okay, this is where it came from. This is what it was. And now how could we make it work so we can move past it and take it, like you
We
said,
can
as
keep
a
moving
foundation.
forward.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
we can
take
keep
it as a
moving
foundation.
forward.
So it's
Yeah.
not holding us back. It's not having a negative impact anymore on our lives.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So good. Oh, I love this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was yeah, I loved it. That was very informative. I learned something. That's so cool.
Awesome.
I definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
Please forward the link because I definitely want to check it out too. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
thank you, Sandy.
No, thank you for coming
Thank you for,
and sharing.
yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yes. And yeah, I hope everyone can really take this message away. Don't let your nervous system control you. Like, take charge of your nervous system, and then you can achieve more in life. Mm.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Take charge. Find a way forward. Don't let this, yeah, whatever is holding you back. Like, let's find a way to break that down and achieve whatever you want to reach your dreams. Go further. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
No worries. Yeah. I will head off, and yes, I'll speak to you soon.
Hey guys, what an interesting show today with Claire. Just wanted to take a moment and talk to you about this. Yeah, I thought it was super interesting, right? I've been in the mindfulness space for quite some time and also tried so many different tools. But like I said, even I learned something today. It's like, wow, this is really powerful. Just how the simple thing of, like, shaping an O, and the whole meditation thing of how going underwater, that also had a bit of a deep, yeah, relaxation. Like, everything is drowned out and the blue of the water and the bubbles and things like it. I just thought it was really, really cool. But I wanted to ask, how did you like today's episode? What did you think? Did you hear about this before? Did you know about this? Are you interested in hearing more? Do you want to try out that necklace? Do you want to get the book, get over your shit? I thought it was so powerful too. Like, I love how, the name just kind of cuts straight to the point. And yes, I'm definitely going to check it out once it's released. But yes, let me know in the comments, how did you like this episode? Are you interested in any of these tools, her book, the necklace, or anything? If I ever have her back, is there any question that was lingering, that wasn't answered, that you would like me to ask? And maybe provide an answer in the comments, or like I said, have her back and have some answers. Yes, just let me know. I would love to hear from you. Oh, one more thing. When are you guys listening to my episode? I was wondering, like, are you guys listening to it on your way to work, on your lunch break, or after work when you're stuck in traffic? Or do you like to listen to it on the weekend while doing dishes or while cooking? I would love to hear a bit more about who is listening, when you guys are listening, and how do you like it so far. So also let me know if there's any topics that you would like me to cover, any person you have in mind that would be great for the podcast. Just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.